Hello there. The purpose of this session is to introduce you to SPSS. SPSS is a statistical software package that is widely used by researchers in management and elsewhere in social science. Why SPSS? Unlike other programs such as open software R or Python, SPSS has a user-friendly Windows-based interface, and that interface makes it easy to carry out analysis and to use the software. This series of tutorials will train you in SPSS, starting from the principles of its interface and finishing with some hypothesis testing. Let us begin. In Glasgow, you can either install the SPSS on your PC or use the online version available on your online desktop. I have my software on my laptop and I'm just going to open it looking for a program called IBM SPSS Statistics, and I have the latest version of it, version 24. When you open the software, the screen that pops out is the one that tries to take you to your recent file, and I'm just going to click this and close it for the moment. The software then takes you to the data editor, and what you see is a spreadsheet not dissimilar to Excel. In fact, SPSS is very much like Excel with some additional functionalities. Like Excel, you have a spreadsheet that is organizing in columns and in rows. Unlike an Excel though, the spreadsheet has two different components. Can you have a look at the bottom here? There is a tab called Data View and a tab Variable View. I'm clicking on it and the view changes. I'm going to click here to go back to the Data View. Like Excel spreadsheet, Data View allows you to enter your numbers in a particular way. Every row that you see corresponds to one of your respondents or one of your questionnaires or one of your cases, as SPSS will say. Every row is one respondent. Every column is one variable. And what you do is to enter numbers in cells that correspond to respondent's answer to the first question or the first variable. So I can click, for example, here in the first field and enter any number or any word. Let's say that somebody said 2, 3, and 8 in response to our questions. The key advantage of SPSS over Excel is that it allows you to say a lot about your variables, and that explanation is found in the variable view. I'm going to click onto it now. In variable view, in the first column, you see a list of your variables, and that list starts with the variables' names. We have not named our variables. The software just used a default abbreviation for variable 1, variable 2, and variable 3. And then in row, you see properties of each variable. Those properties start with their name and then go into variable type. If you click on that cell, you see various possibilities of variable type, including numeric for numbers, dates, etc., and string, the second last option, is used for words. So you can, let's say that we will use words for this variable. Okay. Then the next column determines how wide the variable is. This allows us 8 characters by default. How many decimal points it has. The default setting is 2. And then the label has the description of the variable that pops out on your analysis. We will talk more about the details of variables in the next tutorial when we will talk about data entry. For now, I would like to finish with a word about saving. It's important that you continue to save your files as you work on them because SPSS has a tendency to crash. To do that, you press a save button and give your file a name. I'm gonna call it SPSS Training 1 SAV. That extension SAV corresponds to a file which contains data. It's a data file. I'm gonna save it on my desktop. That's a bad habit I have. Yes. And what happens then is that another file pops up, and this file is called output. Can you see here? Output. Every time you perform an operation in SPSS, the software records it and brings out this file that contains a log of your activities. In this case, the software just tells us that it saved this file I asked it to save. But in other instances, when you start running your analysis, the output file is the one which contains the results of your analysis. We'll close this file for now and close the software. In the next tutorial, we will look at inputting data into SPSS. See you shortly. Bye.